hello, and welcome to another episode. Today, we are privileged to have the number one best-selling author, Niky Hamilton, and she'll be talking to us about her chapter, Transforming Grief into Resilience. Niky is a grief expert and speaker, women's resilient coach, physiotherapist, a heart-centered leader, and business owner. Welcome, Niky Hamilton. Hi, Niky.
Hi there. Thanks so much for having me on. Nice to see you both.
Well, you too. Thanks so much for joining us. So we're just going to have a wonderful conversation, and feel free to just answer the questions. And it's really relaxing, and we may be jumping in and we may have some sidebars. So no stress at all. So Niky, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do besides what I just talked about?
Yeah, sure. Now, I'm a trained physiotherapist. I've been working as a physiotherapist for nearly 25 years now, and specialising in helping women with their health. And I branched into, I guess, caring more for women around the area of grief in my own journey over the last 10 years. So branched into exploring other parts of other qualifications like NLP and DiMartini facilitation, and I'm really passionate about helping women with their health and helping them find resilience through life's losses. I'm also a doggy mum, so I've got two Labradors, and they take up a lot of my afternoon time as well.
I love that. Fur babies are the best.
Oh,
Niky,
yeah.
Right. Your chapter was so inspiring and it touched my heart so much. Can you give an overview of your chapter and what it's about without giving out too much information to the audience?
Yeah, thank you. My chapter is really about, I guess, my story of an intensely, a moment in time which was filled with grief. And I think a lot of women will resonate, and actually a lot of men too, in that grief really can come in lots of different phases and forms. It can be divorce, it can be a death, it can be a career problem or a health problem. And my experience through grief was a death. And my chapter was really about figuring out how to find your way through the mess when you find yourself staring at the rubble, wondering how it is that you're going to carry on with your life and how it is that you're going to move forward. So my chapter is really touching what it's like to have life fall apart when it just doesn't turn out as planned, and what it's like to start to make decisions around how it is that you want to be able to move forward through the rubble.
Thank you so much. And how was the journey to becoming a best-selling author? How was that for you?
Yeah, I want to say that the journey was actually amazing. I've always enjoyed writing and I've always enjoyed speaking. So I've got podcasts, I've got blog posts. I love the process of writing, and writing this chapter, I think for me, was quite an emotional experience, but it was also an experience that filled me with a lot of gratitude to really look back at how far I'd come, because I do feel that, many times in our lives we often look ahead as to how far we have to go. Like, I've got so far to go to get where I want to be, but we often forget to press pause and look at how far we've come. And I think writing the chapter for me really helped me press pause and get really present and acknowledge and recognize how far I've come, but also how far my husband and I have come together as a couple through what we've navigated.
I love that so much. And, you just really nailed it about the writing process. It's like putting that pen to paper, and when you really start getting into it. And I know for me, as I was doing mine, a lot of emotions has come up, and I love that you shared about you and your husband. Was there any other emotions within yourself that you may have experienced that you thought like, oh my God, I thought I was over that, or that aha moment?
I think it really made me reflect on, when you go through a traumatic experience, it's very common to reflect on the difficulties that you had through that. And I will say, in actual fact, that writing it also made me reflect on the love that I experienced through those moments as well. It really did, because I don't often go back to that point in time in my mind anymore. I try to focus on being present or where I want to go, and reflecting on the past. Sometimes it can bring up a lot of emotions. And I think I've reached a point in my life now when which I'm hugely grateful for, with a lot of work, where I feel immense gratitude. And in actual fact, looking back at that moment in time for us, made me realize how much love was actually present. So it was actually a really beautiful thing for me to be able to, I guess, spend the time in writing that way.
I love that so much. Thank you so much, Niky. And how was the collaboration with other authors? You know, we had a lot of authors that were first-time authors, authors who've written books before. How was that for you, as well as the support from the team?
I think it was actually amazing. So to be able to have meetings in the lead up to publishing the book, to have some guidance and a chance to connect with the other authors, to share ideas, that was really supportive, and it gave me a lot of encouragement to think that, look, I can do this. Because obviously, you know, lots of us think that we can sit down and write a book, and a lot of us can, but there are so many obstacles that can get in the way of the how to get it done. And I think working with the team and connecting with the others really helped me realize this is a possibility. Like, this is actually a possibility, and it's going to happen. So it's actually really exciting to meet the other authors and to connect.
That's so awesome. And can you share a tip or two, or even a secret from your chapter?
Yeah, a secret from my chapter. Oh, I don't want to give away too much. Secret from my chapter, a tip or two. I think ultimately the first tip when you're navigating grief, when you're navigating life's losses, or if you're looking at your life and it's a bit tipped out and you're thinking this is just not turning out as planned, it's very easy to sink into a story of resentment, a story of blame, whether it's blaming someone else or whether it's blaming yourself. And I think the first tip I would give, in actual fact, or the secret, is to let go of the stories, to stop comparing yourself to where you think you should be, because ultimately, when life falls apart, the resentment is really around comparing. This is not how things should be. It should be like this picture over here, or it should be like that story over there. And as soon as I let go of the comparison of what I thought life should be and accepted this is where we are, that was the first step in starting to navigate and build resilience. And from there, it was really to let go of self-blame and understand that, you know, I'm worthy. I'm worthy of finding my way through. I'm worthy of joy again. I'm worthy of love. So I guess, I don't know if that's a secret tip that will resonate with people, but letting go of comparisons and knowing that you're worthy of joy and worthy of love, and to be able to, I guess, let that sense of worthiness sink into your heart is really the key, or the first step that needs to happen.
I love that so much. Absolutely. And what's the best way for people to get in contact with you?
Yeah. So my website, which is Niky Hamilton, which is Niky, Hamilton.com. I'm also Niky Hamilton on Facebook, so you can reach me out on Facebook that way. So they're the two options if you want to connect.
And we're almost halfway through the year. What's on the horizon for the rest of 2024 for you?
Yeah. So for the rest of 2024, I have 2 additional live retreats booked and running. So these retreats are 4-day retreats that I offer women to support them to find a pathway through grief, to help them build resilience and transform grief into resilience. So I'm running those 2 live retreats, and they're beautiful 4 days. I can't wait to share. I'm also going to be hosting my retreat in an online format, which means that women are able to connect online and listen into the retreat content and participate, but from the comfort of their own home, or if they choose to go away somewhere special for themselves. So that's on the horizon for the next 6 months, in addition to my coaching, which I offer out to women as well, which is part of the program that I offer to to help women build resilience.
Oh my God, that's absolutely amazing, especially you're going to be doing it in an online forum.
Yeah.
So Niky, do you have any final words or anything that you would like to leave with the audience?
Yeah, I think the final words that I have is really key to understanding what resilience is, because ultimately, I think when I first went through my experience, is that I had this belief within myself that I'd bounce back. And I'd bounce back to who I was. I'd bounce back to how life was. I'd bounce back to how things were. I don't know. Bouncing back came into my mind, and I'll get over this. I'm a strong person. I'll bounce back. And ultimately, what I've discovered about resilience is it's actually not bouncing back, because there are so many things in life that happen to us or within our lives that we can't change, and we've stepped through a doorway, and we can't go back to how things were. So resilience is actually not bouncing back. Resilience is, in actual fact, the heart's courageous choice to transform. And it's a choice within the heart to be able to step forward to transform. So I'd like to leave with that as a statement from me, because it's what I've learned about resilience.
Oh my God, that is so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Niky, thank you so much for joining us today. Your story is absolutely amazing. And from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for trusting us and sharing your story with us and permission to flourish. And I'm going to turn it over to Dre for final words.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. Like Niky, I just want to say thank you for sharing a story the way that you did. It's would have been really difficult, but it's such a powerful story, and there'll be so many people around the world that will go through the same thing, have gone through the same thing, or might be going through the same thing right now. So thank you for giving us permission for all of us to flourish, and for you to be able to share your story. So I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. And I also wanted to say the same to you guys. It's been a really wonderful journey to have the support and the seamless way that this has been put together, and for me to be able to share a little piece, or a big piece actually, not a little piece, a big piece of my heart out to hopefully a ripple effect where others can read and be inspired to transform into resilience for themselves. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to give out that way. So thank you both for your support and your guidance with this book.
You're so welcome. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.